What's going back? We're back at it with Motivation Monday. You don't have time to step back. You don't have time. No, you don't have a choice. You can only move forward. Push hard you can. The only excuses is a solution. Find a solution. For example, making a plan in life. We all know by now, things don't always work the way they want to, unfortunately. That's part of life. I'll give you a good example about me. When you're growing up, everybody asks you, what do you want to be as you grow up? What do you want to do when you grow up? This hits home for me big time. So, hang on one second, guys. I'm getting all tangled up here. There we go. Sorry about that. So, what I wanted to be as I was growing up, everybody asks, you want to be a teacher? You want to be a plumber? You want to be an engineer? I want to be in the military. People turned around like, eh? Yeah, I got those looks. I wanted to be a soldier so bad. I lived, breathed, and ate it. Every moment of my life, I was researching it, talking to different soldiers, RTC people, anything you can think of. I was that obsessed with it. Went on my day. I was like every other kid. I was obsessed with that, but I also did after school activities. I was in martial arts. I ended up getting injured pretty bad. I was in a karate tournament. I got a legal shot to the knee. My knee went quank. Don't remember anything from that. I remember hitting the mat. That's it. My knee was shot, destroyed pretty much. Doctor said, your probably dreams of military is not happening. I said, fuck you to that. I said, I'm going to do it anyway. I'll prove you wrong. Rehabbed it. Went through rehab. Did everything I asked for. Started playing football again. Getting martial arts. Whatever. Fast forward. Unfortunately, I couldn't get into the military right away. Because my parents were fighting me about it. So they say, go to college. Go to college. I was not a good student. Let's put it this way. I think part of it because of my disability, and they caught it very, very late, like senior year late. So they kind of turned me off at the time. Now I'm all for school if you go for it, but there's also a trade school. You use other ways to just school. Just keep that. I want to publicly make this short. I'm not saying school is the only way. I'm a big fan of it. So, went to school. Didn't want to be a teacher. Didn't want to do all that shit. I wanted to be a soldier. So what could I do? I went to tech school. I love cars. I worked on them. So coming out of college, try to get in. Right at about time I was getting ready to take my asthma, my mom got ill again. So I had to shift gears. Her knee was done. She got in a really bad accident back in Greece, so she had to get a total knee replacement. Paused it, went to work. Working fine, and things happen. Not on my side this time. Went to a couple places. I invested in myself. I bought good tools. Got my inspection on my certifications. I was invested to be a mechanic. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this right. So as I was going through the emotions and everything, and that's in the back of my mind, like a little thing here says, "This is not for you. The military is your thing." I love cars. I love working on them, but not as a career. So turned around and I was working at a shop at a time. A vet comes in, complaining about vibration. Took a road test, did my thing, my inspection, and everything. Realized he just needed a good balance and was a good balance and rotation, I believe, was it? Told my boss heard what I was doing and comes over to me like, "I think you're wrong." I'm like, "Oh, how so? If I'm wrong, okay." He needs tires. Like, no, he doesn't. That's one I know for a fact he doesn't. They're enough tread, enough meat on them. They're not wearing wrong or anything. So please explain to me. Like, no, I just need to sell. I'm like, we're not doing that. He's a veteran. That's one, hit me home. Two, it's not the right thing to do. That's the problem. That's why I couldn't do that. So I went with my gut, told him what I recommended, and he took my recommendation. Was very happy. The next day I get called in the office and I got terminated. I got terminated for that fucking shit. I was okay with it. So for a while I was bouncing from shop to shop, and didn't want to do that anymore. That bad experience stayed with me for a while, and I just couldn't. So my family life was good at the time. Parents good. I was with somebody at the time, and I told her, I think it's time for me to actually pursue my dream and go in the military. And she was against it at first and with it, because her brother was in the military. So did everything right, and I failed the physical because of my knee. That's why I didn't score that high, because of my disability. I knew that may happen, so I was okay with it. But I can't remember what I scored, but I scored good enough to pass it. But that knee got me. I went, okay, now what I do? I try to talk to him, like, is there any, can I get any paperwork to absent? I know that stuff like that at the time, like, unfortunately, not with a physical ability. There's no way you can get a doctor's note to say, hey, he's fine to serve still, but his needs to be, it's not that bad or whatever. It was pretty much too much. Like, I look back now, I think that was the right move on their side. The recruiters were already cool about it, and they were actually pretty upset because they saw how much I wanted to do this. If it was a way around it, we would find it. So my life was a little bit in a limbo at the time. So I didn't want to go back in mechanics. It wasn't working for me. So I did the next best thing I know. I opened a grad school. I did well for a while, till something happened called economy crash. Yep, when the economy crash, people will make cuts. The first thing in cut is activities that I pay for, like school, crash school. Crash school. So yeah, I tried to work with a lot of people. As much I hate to say this, but this is a fact. Any real karate teacher will tell you. Every sensei will tell you this. The way to run a successful karate business is with the students. The students, I mean the kids. The kids pay the bills. The kids pay the lights. Kids pay for the uniforms. There are not a lot of people at 37 or 38 or 40 or 25 will say, hey, I want to be in martial arts. I'm not saying it's not possible. It's more than possible. I think the highest I ever had was 12 adults in my class. Kids, I had 2 different classes. I had 15 was one and 12 the other one. 2 different blocks, because I couldn't get them all in there to teach them. I had to get support. I had people on my payroll. But economy took a shit. When they started dropping, I got to make cuts. And when it got to the point I couldn't afford the lights, I had to close the doors. That is the sad part about business, and this may happen. I had money saved up for rainy days, but this is not like a couple of days rainy day or a couple months or good 3 months or maybe a year. This is gonna be a while before we get out of this, and I knew it. I saw it right on the wall already. I'm not a big karate school like the other ones down the street that own 5 locations, and they could have taken a bigger hit than I could. So at about that time between that and me getting back into wrestling, I went in limbo. Be straight up with you guys. That limbo was the down spiral. Got myself in a little bit of trouble. Nothing major. Just did probation, 18 months probation, and didn't know what to do with myself. And when my probation started, my probation officer goes to me straight up. Yeah, you need a job. We don't care what you do, just get a job. So I tried to get back in the restaurant. I was very versatile in busting tables, serving, hosting, all that stuff. I haven't done too much back in the house at a time. I've done a little bit, like cooking. I've done a little bit of dishwashing, but not like for months on time or so on, like a full career thing. So talking to, got a job at a local bar here, doing dishes. Hated it. I fucking hate doing dishes. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But I saw those guys over there. They make a lot more money. The cooks. I'm like, me being a sneaky little bastard I am. So I start creeping up on the line, helping them here and there. And my boss started saying, like, I hired her as a dishwasher. Like, yeah, but you're gonna change your mind on that. So she needed more help. A couple of days here. So she goes to me. She goes to me, do you want to support the line a couple of days a week? I'm like, yeah. So I started cooking and not being dishes like two out of 5 days, something like that, was it? Then somebody ended up quitting. I looked at her. I go, okay, you have two choices here. You can A, put me full time as a cook, or B, I walk. And then you're down 2 employees. And of course, she couldn't afford that, and that's why I got mine. I know I kind of blackmailed her, but it worked. Then for a while, I went from there to a corporate company. There for 3 years, I grew them. Went to another company, I grew them, and keep going. When I felt I could not learn anymore or grow more, I move on. That's my rule. I always try to keep the company between 2 or 3 years. That's my rule. If I cannot grow in those time period, I move on. So I moved on. I went from from cooking to cooking to a supervisor to management, back to role. The role is a title. I don't care about that. I care what is the money and that's what pays the bills. That's what we worry about too much. Titles. Why? It's a title. I don't give a shit about the title. You can shove the title up to your asses. I don't give a fuck. And that's the next part of this. By waking up and chasing that goal. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's been every single day ever since I was told I could not go into service. I still chase it. How is it gonna happen? My relationship with the military right now is through the Winter War Project. I donate. My relationship with the military is through my friend CQ King. I have family members in the military. I support them as much as I can. By chasing that goal, the dream, you need to get up every day, be motivated, and put time and effort. That's the plus about this. You can put as much time and effort you want it. Like, I knew being a soldier is not gonna happen, but I redirected my focus to being a cook, a chef, and goddamn, I did not stop. I still don't stop. I know I just said titles are nothing, but unfortunately, in some careers, titles are everything. You want more money, you gotta get big titles, unfortunately. But I don't care about the title. I care what I get out of it. As long as I'm happy, my family's happy, I'm healthy, and they're happy, and I have a roof and all this stuff, I think I exceeded. Well, guys, do me a favor. Do me a huge favor. I've been checking how many of you guys are actually, subbed and following. And I'm very disappointed in you guys. If you guys please hit the sub button, that'd be very motivational to me. But except that, if you have your story or any goals you'd like to share, please let it know in the comments below. Except that, stay fresh.